Okay, I guess it's rolling out. Yes. All right. I'm going to try to keep this to 5 minutes or less. So the next installment in the South by Southwest. Okay, so let's see. On the 11th at 11:30 at the Hilton Austin Downtown Salon A. And the subject was extracting high-value molecules from the waste stream. I'm not even sure what that's meant to be, the waste stream. Stream, I think of water, so I just, there shouldn't be any waste in the water. All right? And it says, in a world grappling with waste, a living laboratory within a repurposed Chicago meatpacking facility is redefining refuse as a resource. Yeah, I bet you are. In the Chicago meatpacking factory, I bet you've been done doing that. Redefining the refuse. Do I need to say this? Just in case? What is the refuse of the Chicago meatpacking facility? The pieces of the children and the humans. And they're going to use it as a resource. So it says, using an anaerobic digester as a biorefinery, Bubbly Dynamics is the name of the company. Bubbly Dynamics, that's just retarded. Extracts high-value molecules such as secondary metabolites from the waste stream. So this tells me y'all reptiles are getting so desperate to feed upon the humans that you're now having to try to get it out of the waste stream. Okay, so it says this approach empowers 19 small food businesses at the plant. It's in caps. And so I don't know what that means. The plant. It's, to me, if you're going to capitalize something, that means in the verbiage, that means you're referring, like, pay attention. I'm trying to tell you something. There's something. This approach empowers 19 small food businesses at the plant. What's the plant? I don't know what that is. To revolutionize societal views on waste. Revolutionize societal views. Revolutionize societal views. I guess I could go a lot of different ways with that, but I'm going to try not to overthink this. I'm just going to say that societal views on waste are, well, they need to be, for sure, redefined. Because, yeah, there's a lot of biomaterial that people throw out as waste every day, and we could put that back into the chain. But more importantly, I don't know what he starts out. This doesn't make sense up here. It says extracting high value molecules from the waste stream. What's a molecule? Just tell me, which molecule is it that you're after, or which molecules is it that you're after, and why are they of such high value? Can you explain a little bit more? I just, and you threw me off with the Chicago meat packing facility. I mean, my gosh. Oof. All right. I just, yeah, it just seems creepy to me there. But at this, if I would have gone to this event, I would have stood up in the room and said, "Hey, why do we even have waste streams? First of all, we shouldn't be pissing and shitting in the water so much as we are. All right, but if we are, that it all needs to go through a biodigester, and it needs to be fermented, and the valuable molecules that you can." High value molecules that you can retrieve from that are the enzymes that you can then propagate and make other biodigesters with it, right? It's because they procreate inside the biodigester, and that's the most effective way to deal with the wastewater. Okay. Now, after having said that, after a year of the biodigester doing its job, then it needs to be flushed or purged. And in this case, bonus, you've got the best liquid form of fertilizer in the world. I mean, and we don't need to, then, that we don't need to buy, well, we don't need to buy them anyway, but people do. The pesticides and the herbicides and the fungicides, you know, because our plants are living in vulnerable, weak, sick soil, and so they're susceptible to a plethora of pathogens, you know, we'll say, and also more susceptible to the pests, they call them pests, that feed on the, look, if you got some insects feeding on your plants, then you know that's a good plant for you to be eating. Let the insects have some, you know, just, it's all good. But if they're being plagued, right, which if you're small farming, they're not, right? If you're taking care of the soil and you're using the things that you need to do to properly fertilize the soil, then you wouldn't even have any of this to start with. You certainly wouldn't have a waste stream. I don't even know what that means. If we had used the biodigesters to take the place of the fake fertilizers, and then also eliminate the need for pesticides and herbicides, because our soil is very healthy now and our plants are very healthy now and they're not susceptible to disease, the same as us, right? Then you wouldn't even have this problem to deal with in the first place, right? So I would just, I really don't know, and that just throws me off there too. I just have to conclude with this by saying your purpose, it says, extracting high value molecules from the waste stream. And then it goes on to say, in a world grappling with waste, a living laboratory within a repurposed Chicago meatpacking facility is defining refuse as a resource. Honey, they've been doing that. What you think you're eating in the McDonald's? It's all the leftover bits and pieces, all the refuse of the children and any other human and that they're sacrificing and feeding upon. Anything that they don't feed upon is considered refuse. So they just, yeah, that's fact. So I'll leave it at that and just let you have a ponder over that, and just always, anytime you read something, just read between the lines and see, like, how does waste molecules in the waste stream have anything to do with refuse as a resource? Does it? It's like it's skipped over. There's something that's supposed to be bridging those two. I really don't know. I really don't know. Anyhow, I'll leave it at that, family. Moving on to the next one. Whew, 8 minutes. I'm trying to do it in 5 or less.